Hello friends, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching MCQ Practice Series by Drishti IAS. In this episode, we'll be talking about the set 5th of Environment MCQs. We have already uploaded 4 episodes of Environment MCQs, so you can go ahead and watch those videos. Other than that, we are also running this current affairs series under target UPSC Prelims 2024. You can go and watch those videos as well. So let's start with the question number 1. Which of the following factors are responsible for giving the status of a hotspot to a place? Okay, so basically you can say that status of hotspot, which is related to mostly your vegetations, and you can say the endemism. Okay, so when we are talking about the endemism and the vegetation, hotspots are those areas which are having a huge diversity. Okay, so here you can see, first thing you can say endemic vertebrates, then endemic plants and per area ratio, then total productivity of that particular hotspot. So when we are talking about a hotspot, this is nothing to do with the productivity, it is about the endemism and the vegetation. So okay, 1 and 2 would be your right answer. So let's see the explanation over here. Biodiversity hotspot are the areas with high concentration of endemic species. As I told you, it is about endemism. Okay, other than that, there will be these high habitat loss should be there. Okay, because some kind of threat is there, and that is why we are designating them as a hotspot, because there is a high degree of endemism over there. Okay, so some of the hotspots which we are talking about over here, in the world over, there are nearly 34 hotspots. Okay, and when we are talking about these hotspots, they have greater richness than the or you can say in other terms, that is basically endemism. Okay, now there are 5 major factors which are taken into consideration while recognizing a place as a hotspot. That is endemic plants, endemic vertebrates, endemic plant per area ratio, and special vertebrate per area ratio, and then you can say residuary primary vegetations. Okay, so all of these things are related to either endemism or the vegetation. Okay, when we are talking about India has 4 such hotspots. One is your Himalayas, second is your Western Ghats, third is your northeastern area, and then when we are talking about the 4th, that is your Andaman and Nicobar, it is basically part of Sunda land. Okay, that is basically the extended version wherein this Malay Peninsula or Indonesia, that is also included in the hotspot. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now we can move to the next question. Which of the following statement is or are correct regarding the black soft-shelled turtle? Okay, the black soft-shelled turtle are declared extinct in the wild by IUCN. Environmental DNA or eDNA technology is used for testing and identification of soft-shelled turtles. Okay, now let's see. You have to choose the correct code over here. When we are talking about these black soft-shelled turtles, these are not extinct. Okay, so that is wrong. When we are talking about this particular statement, second, that is environmental DNA or eDNA. So this is a general statement wherein they are talking about a particular technology, and whenever we are talking about DNAs can be used for the identification of particular species, or you can say any kind of genome sequencing will give you an idea about a particular kind of species. Okay, so basically here you can say that for the testing and identification you can use it. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Option B would be your right answer. Now when we are talking about this black soft-shelled turtle, it was in news because recently in a particular village of West Bengal, that is Baneshwar, there is this temple which is dedicated to Lord Shiva, and there is a pond in which this particular turtle is found, and the name of that particular turtle is Mohan Babu, and he was actually designated as a mascot for the elections by Election Commission of India. Okay, the Mohan Babu turtle was declared, or you can say recognized, as a mascot in that particular area by the ECI Election Commission of India, and that is why it was in news. Okay, now coming to the kind of this turtle, black soft-shelled turtle, which has been declared critically endangered but not extinct. Okay, then when we are talking about the IUCN status, here you can say black soft-shelled turtle, that is critically endangered. Then when we are talking about Indian soft-shelled turtle, that is endangered. Indian narrow-headed turtles, these are also endangered. Okay, then this particular technology we have already said, environmental DNA testing to detect freshwater turtles in forest and temple ponds. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now we can move further. This is the you can say picture of your black soft-shelled turtle. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now question number 3. Consider the following statement with reference to Vetur cow. Now, Vetur cow was in news because this particular species has been saved from the extinction. Okay, so we'll talk about that. The statements are Vetur is the smallest cow in the world and is endemic to Tamil Nadu. Statement second is it gives more milk than foreign hybrids like Jersey, Holstein, for instance. Okay, so when we are talking about the Vetur cow, it is found in Vetur village, and now this Vetur village is in Kerala. Okay, so you can say this is endemic to Kerala and not Tamil Nadu. Okay, so that is one thing. Second thing, this is the smallest cow when we are talking about the height of this particular cow. So that is basically quite small. Okay, then when we are talking about the productivity or the milk which cow gives, so here you can say mostly you will see that foreign hybrids usually have higher productivity than the indigenous species. Okay, so that is another thing over here. So we can say that this statement is wrong. Both the statements are wrong over here. Now let's talk about the Vetur cow here. Vetur is the smallest cow in the world and is endemic to Vetur in Kottayam district of Kerala, which we have already talked about, that it is from Kerala and not Tamil Nadu, and it is found in the Kottayam, Ernakulam, Alupuha belt of the Kerala. Okay, these particular cows, they produce less milk than the foreign breeds. Okay, but they require lesser care than the foreign breeds. Okay, now here in this picture you can see there is this lady, her name is Sosamma Life, and she is the person behind this movement. They have actually saved Vetur cow breed from extinction, and that is why she was awarded with the Padma Shri. Okay, other than that, PM Modi has also mentioned this particular cow. He has been seen with them, so that is why it becomes even more important for your prelims point of view. Okay, now moving ahead, consider the following statement regarding the pangolins. Okay, pangolin is basically a species which is found in grasslands, and when we are talking about these pangolins, they are having some medicinal qualities. Okay, so it is hunted for the medicinal keratin skulls and meat. And second statement is it is a nocturnal insectivorous mammal. Okay, so when we are talking about pangolins, they are basically hunted for this keratin. Okay, they have you can say some scales on their bodies like this, and these scales are of the same material from which our nails are made of. Okay, so for that thing, that keratin is the substance with which these are made of, and this has some kind of medicinal properties, and that is why these pangolins are basically hunted. Okay, so and it is a nocturnal insectivorous animal. So we can say that both the statements are true here. Here you can see some explanation is given. Pangolin found throughout India. It is heavily hunted for the scales, having a medicinal value and sold for more than gold. When we are talking about China specifically, that there is too much demand in China with respect to your pangolins, and that is why there is this illegal trade which is happening over there. These are nocturnal mammals which we have already discussed. When we are talking about these species over here, there are various type of this species. One is your Indian pangolins. They are endangered. But when we are talking about the Chinese, Sunda or Philippine pangolins, we can say that these are critically endangered because of the high demand. There is high hunting, and that is why they are critically endangered. Okay, here you can see the picture. This is a picture of an Indian pangolin. Okay, so they are endangered and not critically endangered. Okay, and when we are talking about Chinese pangolins, they are critically endangered. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now, question number 5. In which of the following state is the snow leopard found in the natural habitat? Jammu Kashmir, Assam, Sikkim, and Arunachal Pradesh. When we are talking about the snow leopards, okay, so these are found in altitudes of 3000 meters to 5000 meters. Okay, and since they are related to snow, we know that in Himalayan region they will be found. Okay, so when we look at these options, you can say in Jammu Kashmir, in Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh they are found. In Assam they are not, because mostly when we are talking about Assam, there are not much altitudes which are found like this. So that is why Jammu Kashmir, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh is your right answer. That is 1, 3 and 4. Okay, now talking about snow leopard, they are basically called as the ghost of the nights. Okay, and these are vulnerable species. Okay, so please remember that. Other than that, when we are talking about the you can say appendix 1 sites, it is in the appendix 1 when we are talking about the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 of India. In this, it is under protected under the schedule 1. So you can say that a high degree of protection has been awarded to snow leopards. Okay, and when we are talking about the threat, obviously there are certain threats which are common, that is habitat loss, climate change, loss of prey, okay, poaching, etc. These are certain you can say threats which are present to snow leopards. Then there are conservation efforts we can talk about. So there is this Global Snow Leopard and Ecosystem Protection Program, that is GSLEP. Then we have Himalayan Sarakshak, Himal Sarakshak Community Volunteer Program. Then we have Project Snow Leopard, snow leopard conservation breeding programs. So all these efforts are being made to safeguard the population and the habitat of snow leopards. Okay. Then when we are talking about snow leopards, they prefer steep upland terrain and rocky cliffs and the passes. Okay, so that they can keep a eye on their prey, so that from the high altitude they can keep an eye on that particular prey before going for a hunt. Okay. It is found in the Himalayas at the altitude of 3000 to 5000, which we have already discussed. Here you can say these are some countries, or you can say there are some 12 snow leopard range countries in which snow leopard is found. That is India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Nepal, Bhutan, China, Mongolia, Russia. Okay, mostly they will be found in the area, this area you can say Central Asian region. Okay. So in the Central and the Southern Asia, these are found, and then there are 12 range countries. And when we are talking about India, they are mostly found in the Western Himalayas and the Eastern Himalayas. Okay. So here you can see in the Western Himalayas, there are found in the Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand and the Himachal Pradesh. There is Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand and the Himachal Pradesh. And then when we are talking about the Eastern Himalayas, they are found in Arunachal Pradesh and the Sikkim area. Okay. Major sites if we talk about, that is Hamish National Park in Ladakh, and that is basically snow leopard capital of the world. Then we have Greater Himalayan National Park in Himachal Pradesh, Gangotri National Park in Uttarakhand, and Kanchenjunga in Sikkim. Okay, please remember the location of these 4-5 national parks which are given, because these can be very important for your prelims. Okay, now question number 6. There are certain phenomena given like saprophytes, barophytes, thallus, gymnosperms, and correspondingly there are certain explanations are given. You have to choose the correct code. Now, if you don't know much about these barophytes, or you can say thallus, besides that, you can also go for the finding a right answer, because you know that these gymnosperms and the saprophytes, these are the terms which has been used in NCERT. These are very basic terms of in the ecology and environment. Okay. When we are talking about these saprophytes, this is something related to degradation of plants and animals. Okay. So here you can say that when we are talking about saprophytes, they are basically obtaining food from the decay of plants and animals. So A would be related to your 4. Okay, A would be related to 4. So C and D can be eliminated. Okay. Now coming to the gymnosperms. Now you know that gymnosperms, or you can say this is basically a process which is related to you can say procreation in the plants. Okay. So here you can say for D it will be 3. That is, instead of follicles, males and female organs, they produce cones made of sporophiles, and they contain male and female organs. Okay, so basically that is your gymnosperm. So if D is 3, and that would be your B would be your right answer. Now you can go through this particular explanation, because that is very simple. When we are talking about barophytes, they are basically amphibians in the plant kingdom, and when we are talking about thallus, that is plant having common roots, stems and leaves. Okay, so you can remember this. Now moving further, question number 7. Which of the following statement is or are correct regarding the biodiversity hotspots? Statement 1 is biodiversity hotspots have been identified by International Union for Conservation of Natural and Nature Resources, that is basically your IUCN, and then we can see biodiversity hotspots are defined according to their vegetations. Okay, so that is also true. When we see the third statement, in India, Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats are the biodiversity hotspots. So this is incorrect, because only Western Ghats are the biodiversity hotspot and not Eastern Ghats. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and option A would be your right answer. So here you can say that it is designations are given by, or you can say identified by, the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, that is IUCN. And when we are talking about this biodiversity hotspot, these are basically regions of greater diversity, endemism, and there is certain degree of habitat loss which is prevalent over there, which we have already discussed. Here you can see biodiversity hotspot have been defined according to their vegetation. Okay, so and there are certain criteria which says that there should be more than 1500 endemic sustainable plant species, more than 1500. So you can say that in a particular area, if there are more than 1500 endemic species, you can say that there is a huge diversity which is present over there. And other than that, second criteria would be 30% or more of the primary vegetation of that particular area should have been destroyed. Okay, so there is a threat to that particular region. So that these are hotspots. We have already discussed that Western Ghats are basically your biodiversity hotspots, and Eastern Ghats are not. Okay, and Andaman Nicobar, that is part of Sundaland, and Northeast in India and Himalaya. These are basically 4 kind of hotspots which are present in India. Okay, now moving further, question number 8. If due to some reason there is a large decline in the number of butterfly species, what could be the possible consequences? First statement is that pollination of some plants may be adversely affected. So now we know that when we are looking at a butterfly, they'll sit on one plant to another plant, so they carry pollens with them. So pollination is will be affected if there is a decline in the population or the number of the butterflies. Then when we are talking about the fungal infection, so yes, there can be impact on the fungi in that particular area because they are saprophytes. But the thing is, again, there will not be any kind of effect on the infection. Okay, so that statement is incorrect. So we can say that this statement, or you can say fungal infection, has no direct link with your butterflies. Okay, there may be a decline in the population of some species like wasp, spider and birds. So obviously that is related to your food chains or food webs. Okay, so if one species is on the verge of decline, so basically the other species might get affected with that. So option 1 and 3, or you can say statement 1 and 3, C would be your right answer. Now here you can see we have seen that butterfly help in pollination of the plant, hence declining in the number will affect the pollination. Then when we are talking about the fungal infection, there is no apparent link between them. And then when we are talking about this number of butterfly, which is negatively affecting the food chain if there is a decline. Okay, now question number 9. Which of the following statements are correct with reference to the Wildlife Protection Act 1972? Schedule 5 of the Act list the animals that can be hunted. Now when we are talking about Wildlife Protection Act, there are 6 schedules. Okay, there are total 6 schedules. So 1 and 2 will have high degree of protection. When we are talking about 3rd and 4th schedule, they will have a lesser degree of protection. When we are talking about the 5th schedule, they will be talking about the vermins, or these are the animals that can be harmful for humans. That is why they are allowed for hunting. So this statement is correct. When we are talking about the schedule 6, that is related to your specific varieties of plants, etc. Okay, schedule 2 of the act includes common crow and birds. As I told you, schedule 1 and 2 gives a high degree of protection, so that is not for the common crows and the bats. Okay, so that is incorrect. Now 3rd statement, this act relates only to the animal and not plants. As I told you, schedule 6 is related to plants, so this statement is also incorrect. Option A would be your right answer. Now here Wildlife Protection Act is given. Some provisions are there. There are 6 schedules. In schedule 1 and 2, as I told you, there will be full protection and there will be high penalties if you are going for the violations. And then in schedule 3 and 4, there will be penalties which are lesser, or you can say much lower than the schedule 1. And when we are talking about the schedule 5, that is related to animals that can be hunted, and cultivation and the planting of plants, that is related to your schedule 6, which we have already seen. Now question number 10. In the following question, there are 2 statements, statement 1 and statement 2. Examine these 2 statements carefully and select the correct answer using the code given below. Statement 1, global warming means increase in the global surface temperature. That is very logical statement and this is true. Second statement is, increase in the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere is the cause of increase in the global surface temperature, which is also true, because you know that when we are talking about the greenhouse gases, they create some kind of a barrier through which the long wave radiations which are emitted by the earth, they could not leave the atmosphere, and because of which the temperature of that particular inside the atmosphere that increases. So here you can say that this is your earth. Okay, and because of the insolation from the rays of the sun, earth will absorb such rays, and in the night time they will actually radiate long waves. Okay, these are heat waves. So basically, because of the presence of the greenhouse gases, there will be a barrier, so these cannot go outside the atmosphere, they will reflect back. Okay, and they will stay inside the atmosphere only, and ultimately the temperature of the atmosphere will increase. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So statement 1 is clear, statement 2 is also true, and these are basically you can say correct explanation of statement 1. So option A would be the right answer, because both statements are true, and statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Here you can go through this explanation which I have already explained. Now for your practice, there is one question. The scientific view is that world temperature should not rise by more than 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level. If the global temperature rises beyond 3 degrees above the pre-industrial level, what could be the likely impact on the world? Okay, so they are asking you, if the temperature increase or you can say temperature change increase by 3 degrees, what will be the impacts? Okay, the terrestrial biosphere will tend to be a net carbon source. Second is, extensive coral mortality will occur. Third is, all global wetlands will disappear permanently. Fourth is cultivation of grains will not be possible anywhere in the world. Select the correct answer using the code given below. So you have to choose the correct statements, and accordingly you can choose the correct answer and reply in the comment box. So I hope this is clear. This session was quite fruitful for you. Now I would want you to go through the different videos which has been already uploaded in the MCQ practice series for different sections like science and tech, polity, history, economy, art and culture. So you can go through these particular videos so that you will have an idea about the MCQs, what kind of MCQs UPSC can ask, and what is your level of preparation. You can get the idea about that. Okay. So with that, I would like to wrap up this session. I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, have a good day. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.